Good morning, everyone. My name is Kumar Singh, and welcome to the next class on queen theory. Just please let me know is I audible? You can hear me. Please write in the chat box. Everyone can hear me, right? Okay, great. So we'll start the class. Today is our next class on queen theory. So yesterday we have discussed the basic understanding about queen model. So whenever we talk about queen theory, or waiting line theory, it is all about the system where we see the demand which is building over the supply, and because of which we see normally the tendency of waiting line or queue outside a particular service system. So whenever we talk about queue, we basically understand the queuing model under two parameters. So whenever we talk about queue, so we basically study under single server queuing model. So we basically study a queuing model under single server. We study it under single server queuing model, or or we'll study this under multiple server queuing model, or we'll study this under multiple server queuing model. So it depends upon the number of mechanism which is available for your service. So if there's only one server which is available for the service for the customers who are arriving at a particular destination, then it is called a single server queuing model. Or if you talk about multiple servers which are available for the service for their customer, then we called it under multiple server queuing model. So basically, in queuing model, we talk about two servers mechanism. So depending upon that, all the mathematical calculation, what all we do, it depends on that. So you can see these are the formula for single channel queuing model. So the output what we discuss under queuing model, where the inputs under the queuing model can be the mean arrival rate, or it can be the mean service time per hour. But when you talk about output, the output in the case of queuing model, it can be basically, it can be the length of system, it can be the length of queue, it can be the waiting time in system, it can be waiting time in queue. Based upon that, these are the formulas I have discussed yesterday. These are the formulas which we need to keep in our mind. Based on this only, we'll solve the problem. Again, these sheet is already shared with all of you, so you can have a look on them. So basically, when we talk about a queuing model, we have a single server queuing model, or we can have multiple server queuing model, and depending upon the length of what we can expect around the queue. So the depending upon the length of the queue, uh, we can say that it can follow a finite queue length. It can follow either finite queue length. It can follow finite queue length. It can either follow finite queue length, or it can follow infinite queue length. It can follow finite queue length, or it can follow infinite queue length. So, so depending upon the situation to situation, like imagine when you talk about metros, there's a definite space available. Imagine you want your car to be serviced, and you went to a garage, and that garage can accommodate only limited number of cars. But the moment you reach the service station, you saw there's no space where you can park your car for the service. So you can understand that as an example of finite queue length. While there can be a mechanism like maybe you go to ticket counter, or maybe some bus booking counter, there you found that infinite people can be there. So then it comes under infinite queue length. So depending upon model to model, you can have talking about the length of the queue which can come. So it can either follow finite queue length, or it can follow infinite queue length. In case of infinite queue length, for the efficient system, the lambda by q should be less than 1. So whenever we talk about for efficient infinite queue length, so imagine infinite queue length means people keep coming up and they can stand in the line. So whenever you see queue outside the service system, and the and many people are coming up and joining the system, so you can say in case of infinite queue length. So in case of infinite queue length, in case of infinite queue length, whenever we talk about infinite queue length, so for the efficient system, so for the efficient system, for the efficient system, for the efficient system, so we can say lambda by mu that should be less than 1. So lambda by mu basically it talks about the traffic intensity, where lambda is the mean arrival rate, while mu is the mean service rate. So whenever we talk about the manner where the people are coming and joining the system, so this is the mean arrival per time per hour or whatever you can say, while this is the mean service time per hour. So service service so it is mean service time per hour. So whenever you talk about that is mu. So basically, whenever we talk about arrival of customers for the system, we cannot predict that arrivals and all. So we normally believe that the arrivals, the mean arrival rate, it follow Poisson distribution. It follow Poisson distribution. So if you remember in statistics, I have taught Poisson distribution, binomial distribution, Poisson distribution. So the mean arrival per hour, we can talk it under Poisson distribution, while the mean service time, we believe that it follow exponential distribution. We believe that it follow exponential distribution. The time what it takes for the customer to get service, that is called as that is called as the mean service time per hour. So we believe that it follow exponential distribution, while the lambda by mu is called as traffic intensity. So traffic intensity, like imagine the lambda is suppose 4 per hour. Suppose the lambda is 4 per hour. It means 15 it means after every 15 minutes, one customer is coming to join the system. One customer is coming to join the queue. Imagine your lambda is 4, so it means that after every 15 minutes, one customer is coming to join the system. While imagine if your mu is suppose 5 per hour, if your mu is 5 per hour, so it takes you 12 minutes for one service for servicing one customer. So for servicing one customer. So it is very important that when you're servicing a customer, it is very important that when you're servicing a customer, you should service him at the time which should be lesser than the time at which the people are coming and they're joining the system. So then only the people will keep on joining. Otherwise, gradually somebody will come. If suppose someone come for some service to be done, and by looking at the queue, the length of the queue, he or she will think that, oh my god, so probably today definitely I'll not get my turn. My turn will not come, and that person will leave. So this phenomena is called as balking. This phenomena is called as balking. So balking is basically the phenomena, like imagine you came to some ticket office, or you came to post office, or passport office for some kind of service, and when you reach, maybe you reached around 1 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock the passport office get closed, and you saw too many people are standing. So if too many people are standing in the queue, you'll think that by 4 o'clock my turn will not definitely not gonna come. So what you do, looking at the queue length and calculating the time at which the people are getting service, then you calculate your time when your opportunity will come. So definitely you thought that your turn may not come. So that way you better left the system. That is called as balking. So remember this term, that is called as balking. So there's one person, by looking at the queue only, the person says, no, I'm not gonna stand so long. So better I should leave. Today is Janmashtami. So maybe you went to ISKCON temple to do puja, and looking at too many people are standing, you say no, anyway this way I cannot do the puja. It's better to leave. So that is called balking. The another term what we study here, that is called reasoning. So what is reasoning? Reasoning basically means that there's other person who's a patient, who's positive. So maybe there's other person who's positive. He or she think that there may be an opportunity that he or she can get to do to puja. Maybe that he or she reach the ISKCON temple to do puja today. And although the queue length is too much, but even then that person is very positive, and he thought that his turn may will come, and it's not to miss the opportunity because today is Janmashtami and we should do puja today only. So he or she believed that better to wait or little bit struggle so that the turn will come and he or she can do puja. So then that person will struggle for certain period of time in the queue. But even then maybe even then maybe the what we are assuming that the lambda by mu should be less than 1, but maybe the rate at which the customers here, the customers are the devotees who are getting service, maybe the rate at which they are getting service is lesser than the rate at which the people are getting joining the queue. Then gradually with the period of time, then the length of queue will increase with the time. And then after waiting for so long, maybe here the lambda by mu is more than 1, not less than 1. So it means that you are waiting too long for your turn to become. But even then, after waiting too long for your turn to become, even then, after struggling so long, you did not get the opportunity to do puja today. Then what you will do? Then finally you will get frustrated and you leave the system, and you will say, "I'll come some other day." That is called reasoning. Then the third term, what you need to study here, the third term. So first we talked about balking, then we talked reasoning, and the third term, what you need to study, that is called jockeying. The third term, what we call, is called a jockeying. So jockeying means people are standing in the queue. Maybe multiple server system is there, and people are standing in the queue. And suppose you are standing here, but for this server, lambda by mu is less. Maybe this is less. While for this, it's going very fast. So when you joined, then maybe you realized that this is doing better work. But with time, you saw that this has the queue of this length is decreasing very fast. So what you will do, from this queue, you will come to this queue, or from this queue you go to this queue. So if you keep switching the queue so that you get in the opportunity for yourself to get service, that is called a jockeying. So jockeying is the mechanism where basically the customer he switches their queue so that they get an opportunity to get service. That is called a jockeying. So you should know these terms, these terms like balking or reasoning, or they can be jockeying. So these terms, if we know, then it will be good for us. So basically, whenever we talk about queuing theory, basically whenever we talk about queuing theory, whenever we talk about queuing theory, the input source under the queuing theory, the input source can be the arrival rate. The input source can be the arrival rate. It can be service rate, arrival rate or service rate. It can be arrival rate, or it can be service rate, or it can be the number of server. So these are the basic input source. Whenever we talk about queen theory, when we talk about the output source, when we talk about the output source under the queen theory, the output source under the queen theory, it can be the length of system, it can be the length of system, it can be the length of system, or it can be the length of queue, it can be the length of queue, it can be the length of system, it can be the length of queue, or it can be the waiting time in system, it can be the waiting time in system, it can be waiting time in system, or it can be the waiting time in queue. So these are the four parameters what we study in the queuing theory. So these four parameters become the output source whenever we study queuing theory. So the length of system normally we represent with LS. The length of queue we represent with LQ. The waiting time in system we represent at WS. Waiting time in queue we represent as WQ. And based upon them, these are the formulas what I have discussed with all of you. And I told you to remember these formulas. These are the formula for single server system. So these are the formula for single server system, where the lambda, this is lambda, where the lambda basically represent the mean arrival rate, and the mu basically represent the mean service rate. So based upon them, we study these models. These are the output source whenever we talk about queen theory. So basically, whenever we are working on queen theory, basically whenever we are working on queen theory, so these are the four parameters what we consider. These parameters can be a single server queuing model. They can be multiple server queuing model. It can be finite. It can have a finite queue length. It can have finite queue length, or it can have infinite queue length. So using them together, I can talk about four models of what we basically study in queuing theory. So the four models, using them, if I use them, so basically, if I'm trying to use them, so basically I'll talk about four models in queuing theory. So I'll talk about four models in queuing theory. So those four models, uh, it can be those four model can be it can be single server, can be single server, infinite infinite population. It can be single server, infinite queue length, single server, infinite uh, queue length. Queue spelling is wrong. So single server, infinite queue length. It can be single server, infinite queue length. It can be single server. It can be single server, finite queue length. It can be single server, finite queue length. It can be single server, finite queue length. It can be multiple server. It can be multiple server, finite queue length. It can be multiple server, infinite queue length. It can be multiple server, infinite queue length, or it can be multiple server. It can be multiple server, finite queue length. It can be multiple server, finite queue length. Uh, so, uh, so basically, four models are there. What we need to study in queuing theory. So these are the four models. So whenever we are trying to solve numerical, we solve numerical based on these four models. So in queuing theory, whenever we study queuing theory, we basically study them under these four models. So we basically study them under these four models. So this is the way how we represent them. So how we represent them. So this is model one. So this is model one. So we want to represent this. This is model 1, this is model 1, and this is represented like this. This is M slash M slash 1, then dot, this is infinity slash FCFS. First come, first service. Fine. Then this is model 2. This is model 2. Model 2 is M, then slash M slash 1. Then this is finite population. So N slash FCFS. First come, first serve. Then this is model 3. This is model 3. And this is represented as, this is multiple service model. This is represented M slash S. So first it was single server. So it was single server. So here that's why 1 was there. This is multiple server depending upon which how many servers are there. Slash infinite population is there. So infinity slash FCFS. First come, first service. Then this is model 4. Here this is model 4. This is M slash S dot. This would be N slash FCFS. So you need to now one by one you need to understand the terminology. you need to understand the terminologies here. The first thing what can come in your mind, what is M here? So M basically means the whenever, if you remember the arrival rate or the service rate here. So so basically this the first M what you see, it talks about the first M what you see here. The first M what you see, it talks about the arrival rate. The first M what you see, it talks about the arrival rate. The second M what you see, that talks about the service rate. The second M what you see, that talks about the service rate. So either you talk about arrival rate or either you talk about service rates. So if you remember your arrival rate and service rate, they follow certain distribution pattern. Like when I talk about arrival rate follow Poisson distribution, while service rate it follow exponential distribution. So either you talk about arrival rate which follow Poisson distribution, or either you talk about service rate which follow exponential distribution. They basically work on the Markovian property. So basically they work under a Markovian property. So basically they work under Markovian property, and under Markovian property we worked on the principle of memory loss property, which basically discuss that those people who are doing the service, they are least bothered about who are coming for the service to be done. So they don't follow some kind of memory ability, remembering the kind of customers who are coming, and they're satisfying their services. So they follow memory-less property here, and this M basically represent the Markovian the representation. So Markovian process is the stochastic property model, what normally we study in operation research, but even then that is not a part of your course. So that's why I have not discussed the Markovian property with all of you. So here these M basically represent their arrival rate or their service rate, which is exponentially Poisson in manner that you very difficult to predict their manner in which they are coming. So the first M talks about the arrival rate, the second M talks about the service rate. This one is basically representing the single server. This M1 basically representing the single server, and here the infinity talking about the infinite queue length. Here the infinity talking about the infinite queue length. Here the infinity is talking about the infinite queue length, and this FCFS is basically the queue discipline. So whenever whenever the customer comes for the service to be done, so they follow a queue discipline. Either they follow FIFO or LIFO or random selection, or it follow FCFS, first come first serve. So this is what normally everywhere in the life, wherever you go, it's not like people will select you randomly. So more or less wherever you go for the service to be done, so it always follow this pattern called first come first service. Second, similarly, the second model, if you see the second model, similarly, if you see the second model, similarly, if you see the second model, the second model is a single server finite queue length. The second model is single server finite queue length. So here M and M talking about the mean arrival rate or mean service rate. Here the one basically talking about the single server. Here N basically talking about N means the length of queue is finite. The length of queue is not infinite. So here N basically talking about that the length of the queue which are getting service, the N is finite. Then again FCFS is the first come first serve. Similarly, in multiple service server infinite queue length model, when I talk about multiple server infinite queue length model, here again this M talking about the arrival rate, here the M talking about the service rate, here the S basically talking about the multiple server. You can see here it was one because there was one server. Here, whenever you talk about multiple server infinite queue length model or multiple server a finite queue length model. So here you see S. So this S basically talking about the multiple servers which are available for your services to be done. And this infinity talking about infinite queue length model, where this N basically talking about the finite queue length model. So this is basically important for us to understand, and based upon that, one by one we'll study all the models. So right now I'll start discussing. I'll start discussing with M/M/1, then infinity uh, FCFS. So right now I'll start solving the numerical of this. So it is a single service model where the infinite population can come. So let's talk about the problem. Let's talk about the problem. Single server model. Single server model. A single server model having infinite single server having infinite single server model having the infinite queue length. So let's discuss the numerical based on this model, that is a single server model having infinite queue length. So we'll solve the numerical based on this model. So already these formulas and all, this multiple server formula already I have discussed with you yesterday. So we'll do one problem based on this. So let's discuss one problem, because by the time you will not do the problem, your theoretical understanding will not get improved. So you can see this question. So a supermarket has a single cashier. A supermarket has a single cashier. So you can understand it is a single server model. So a supermarket has a single cashier. During the peak hour, the customer arrives at the rate of 20 customers per hour. So during the peak hour, the customer arrives at 20 customer per hour. 20 customer per hour. So with that you understand the arrival rate is 20 customer per hour. So your lambda here is 20 customer per hour. So the lambda and mu that should be represented in time. So your lambda is 20 customer per hour, and the average number of customer that can be processed by the cashier is 24 per hour. So the mu is 24 customer per hour. So your mu is 24 customer per hour. Your lambda was 20 customer per hour. That is your mean arrival rate. So your mean arrival rate is 20 customer per hour, while your mean service rate is 24 customer per hour. Okay, you understood this, right? Now the first question, the first question is that the probability the cashier is idle. So this is the first question. So the first question is the probability that the cashier is idle. So this is the first question which you need to solve. So you know that your lambda is basically 20 customer per hour. Your lambda is 20 customer per hour. Your mu is 24 customer per hour. So if you want to find out the traffic intensity, that how much your customer service representative is busy, so we calculate the traffic intensity, that is called lambda by mu. So lambda by mu is 20 by 24, or that is 5 by 6, or that is 0.8. So this is lambda by mu. This talks about the traffic intensity. It talks about that 83.33 percentage of time, 83.33 percentage of your time, and your customer care representative is busy one. Okay, so this is called this is called traffic intensity. This is called as traffic intensity. This is called as traffic intensity. We talked about how much time your customer service representative is busy. So that is called traffic intensity, and that the formula for that is lambda by mu. So with that you can say that 83.33 percentage of time your customer share representative is busy only. So what is the probability that he's idle? So if I want to find out the probability that your customer share representative is idle, so out of all time, 83.33 percentage of time is busy. So probability that he's idle, that is nothing but 1 minus lambda by mu. 1 minus, so that is nothing but 1 minus lambda by mu. So that is 1 minus 0.8333. So that will give you 16.67. 16.67. So that is 1 by 6. So probability that your customer care representative is busy, busy is 83.33% of time, while the probability that your cache is idle, that is 16.67 percentage of time. Okay. I hope you understood this. Anyone have any doubt? Please ask me. Anyone have any doubt? Now the next question we'll solve is the average number of customer in the queuing system. The next question we'll solve is the average number of customer in the queuing system. So average number of customer in the queuing system. So this is the next question which we'll solve. So average number of customer in the queuing system. So for that you can see this average number of customers. So average number of customer in the queuing system. So average number means you need to find the length and the average number of customer in the queuing system. So that would be this. This is the value. So they are asking you about system. So average number of customer in the queuing system. The formula for that is lambda by mu minus lambda. So that we need to find here. So that's why it would be better if you open the Word document, what I have sent you. So you can just see that you'll understand what I'm talking about. You can see there. So average number of customer in the queuing system. So average number of customer in the queuing system, that is LS. That is lambda by mu minus lambda. So the lambda is basically 20 customer per hour. Mu is 24 customer per hour. So you just solve this. This is 20 by 4. This is 5. So the average number of customer in the queuing system. So that is 5. Okay. Then the next question is the average time a customer spent in the system. So the next question is the average time the customer spent in the system. So if you want to find the average time a customer spent in the system, so you just go and see the sheet where I've written the formula for you. So the average time the customer spent on the system. So this is the formula. So 1 by mu minus lambda. So the average time the customer spent in the system. So you can just see that. So all the formulas already I did that work for you. So you just need to see them. So average time a customer spent in the system. So that is the WS. That WS is equal to 1 by mu minus lambda. So that is 1 by 24 minus 20. That is 1 by 4. And that is equal to 1 by 4 hours or 15 minutes. When talking the term of minute. So average time a customer spent in the system. So that is around 15 minutes. Then the next question is the average number of customer in the queue. Then the next question is the average number of customer in the queue. So average number of customer in the queue. So the next question is the average number of customer in the queue. Average number of customer in the queue. Number. This is the number. This is the average number of customer in the queue. So that is lambda square by mu into mu minus lambda. This is the formula. So I believe this Word document, what I've sent for you, if you see them, then your work is done. You don't have to see anything. So the average length number of customer in the queue. So that is nothing but lambda square by mu into mu minus lambda. So you can do this. So lambda, when you talk lambda is 20, so 20 square by 24 into 24 minus 20. So you can do this. This is 400 by 24 into 4. This is 100. So 100 by 24 means 100 by 24 is 4.17. So 4.17. Average number of customer in the queue. So that is 4.17. So you can understand that normally here in this problem, 4 people are there always in the queue. You by this what I can understand from the output what I got till now. So by this I can understand that the average number of customer in the system, that 5 customers are getting serviced in the system. So this here I can say that that the customer care representative is efficient enough because lambda by mu is less than 1. Because if you lambda by mu is less than 1, it shows that your customer share representative is efficient. And then like probably 83.33% of time that customer share representative is busy only. And then when I talk about the how many people are actually at the service center where their problems are getting solved, so the average number of customers who are there in the queuing system, they are equal to 5. Then the average time, what is the average time a customer spent in the system? So now when the customer turn comes and he go to the service mechanism for this for their work to be serviced, so what is the average time the customer spent in the system? That is around 15 minutes. So around 15 minutes the customer spent in the system. Then what is the average length of the customer in the queue? So like how many people are waiting? So how many people are waiting in the queue? So around 4 people are waiting in the queue. That you can understand. Then the next question is the average time a customer spent in the queue waiting for the service. What is the average time a customer spent in the queue waiting for the service? That is again very important. So normally once you reach the queue, you are getting a service in 15 minutes. The customer care representative take 15 minutes for you to get service. Now the next question is that how long you are waiting in the queue. So what is the average waiting time per unit? So in the queue, that is lambda by mu into 1 by mu minus lambda. So whatever the average waiting time in system, with that you multiply lambda by mu. So whatever the average waiting time you got in the system, whatever the average what is the average waiting time? So what you can expect in the queue, that you can simply multiply lambda by mu with the waiting time in the service. So lambda is 20, mu is 24, and waiting time in the system is 15 minutes or 1 by 4. This is 5 by 24. So 5 by 24, I can convert this into minutes. This will be 5 by 2, means 12.5 minutes. You wait for 12.5 minutes. So you wait for 12.5 minutes before you get yourself to the service. So this is the average waiting time a customer spent in the queue for the service to be done. So very basic calculation we did already, formulas and all. Already I've given you all the formulas. So you just need to apply the formula, and based on the formula you can easily get the answer. Okay. So anyone have any doubt till now what all we have done? Anyone want to ask anything? Anyone have any doubt? Anyone want to ask anything? Anyone want to ask anything based upon what all we have done? So just a formula, the sheet what I've given you. If you just use that sheet, your work is done. So if you use the sheet, all the formulas, everything I've written there. So you just need to use the sheet. Now we'll do the next problem. So like XYZ tailing house has one tailor. So one tailor means it is a single server model. So it has one tailor specialized in men's shirt. Number of customer requiring stitching of shirt appears to follow Poisson distribution. This already I told you that the mean arrival rate follow Poisson distribution, and with the arrival rate, this is time not rhyme. With the arrival time of 12 per hour, so the mean arrival rate is lambda is equal to 12. So the mean arrival rate here lambda is equal to 12. The customers are attended to by the tailor for the first come first serve basis. This already I told you about the queue discipline, and they're willing to wait for the service if there's a queue. The time the tailor takes to attend the customer is exponentially distributed with the mean of 4 minutes. So here the mu is 4 minutes. So normally we represent mu in time basis, per hour or so. Here if you see, this is represented in hour. So this also if I write in hour, so this would be equal to 15 per hour. So like normally for one customer, the service time is 4 minutes. So in 1 hour, how many customer did you service? So that would be 15 per hour. So the lambda is 12 and the mu would be 15. Lambda is 12 and mu would be 15. So both should be represented in the term of same unit of time. So lambda is 12 per hour and mu is 15 per hour. Fine. So required. What is the traffic intensity? Very easy. What is the traffic intensity? The first problem is what is the traffic intensity? So here the first problem is what is the traffic intensity? I hope you understood this calculation is about mu and. So if I talk about traffic intensity is lambda by mu. So the lambda is 12. So the lambda is 12 and mu is 15. This is 4 by 5 or zero point 0.8. So this is the traffic intensity. So that is 0.8. And then the next question, what is the probability that the queue system is idle? So probability that is idle. So probability, next question is the probability that the queue system is idle. So the probability for that is 1 minus traffic intensity. So that would be 0.2. So the probability that the queue system is idle, so that is nothing but 1 minus traffic intensity, that is 0.2. Okay, so then the next question is the average time a tailor is free on 8-hour working hour. So what is the average time the tailor is free on 8-hour working hour? So you know that on a general basis, the tailor is idle for 0.2 hour. So on 8 hour, how much time the tailor would be idle in 8 hour of work? So around 20% time the tailor is idle. So you can say that a tailor is idle for 1.6 hour. Okay, so normally for all the duration, 80% of the time the tailor is working, like tailor traffic intensity is 80%. So 80% of the time the tailor is working, while the probability that the tailor is idle, so only 20% of time the tailor is idle. So I can say in 8 hour time, how many hour the tailor would be idle? That would be equal to 8 into zero point 0.2. That would be around 1.6 hour. Okay. Then the next question is the what is the probability that there shall be 5 customer in the shop? So the next question is what is the probability that there will be what is the probability that there shall be 5 customer in the system. So for that, remember the formula. This formula I told you yesterday, that is equal to 1 minus lambda by mu into lambda by mu whole to the power n. So the probability that there will be n person in the system. So probability that there will be n person in the system. So that probability is 1 minus lambda by mu into lambda by mu to the power n. So here 1 minus 12 by 15 into 12 by 15 to the power n. So this 12 by 15 is nothing but 4 by 5. 1 minus 4 by 5 into 4 by 5 to the power and 5 customers to the power 5. So this is 1 minus zero point 0.8 into 0.8 to the power 5. This is zero point 0.2 into 0.8 to the power 5. You can use calculator to find the value. What is 0.8 to the power 5? So what is 0.8 to the power 5? If I want that, then 8 to the power 1 is 8, 8 to the power 2 is 64, 8 to the power 3 is 512, 8 to the power 4 is 4096, 8 to the power 5 is 4096 into 840, 8 4 carry 72, 76, then 8 4 the 32. So 32768, 5 decimal, so zero point 0.2 into 0.32768. 0.2 is nothing but 1 by 5. 0.2 is 1 by 5. So if I divide it by 5, this is 0.6, 5, 26, 5, 18, 3, 6, 0.065536. Fine. So you can remember this formula. You can remember this formula. Too bad. So you can remember this formula. So this is the formula. You can remember this formula. The probability that there will be n customer in the system. This is the formula for that. So probability that there will be n customer in the system. You can remember that formula. That 1 minus lambda by mu into lambda by mu to the power n. Okay. Then the next question: what is the number of customer in the shop? Number of customer in the shop. So number means they're talking about here when I'm asking you what is the number of customer in the shop. So then here two things. If you understand here two terms: what is the number of customer in the shop? What is the expected number of customer waiting for the tailor service? So actually here they're asking us the length of, like, what is the length of the system. Here they're asking us the length of the queue. So you know the formula to do that. Then what is the expected number of non-empty queue? So non-empty queue formula also I have told you. So non-empty queue formula also I have discussed with you. So non-empty queue formula also we have discussed non-empty queue formula. So this is the non-empty queue formula for the system and for the service. So if I'm asking you what is the expected number of non-empty queue, so this is q, so that is mu by so that is mu by mu minus lambda. Okay, so this is the formula of for non-empty queue length mu by mu minus lambda. So the expected number of non-empty queue, that is mu by mu. So we can do that. What how much time should the customer expect to spend in the queue, means waiting time. So waiting time in the queue, already you know the formula to do that. How much time a customer spend time in the shop, means system, they ask you waiting time in the system. Already you know all these formulas. Already you know the formulas, everything, all the formulas I told you. You can put the value to get the answer and all. So getting answer is not the big thing. So when I talk about waiting time, if I talk about waiting time in system, so the waiting time in system is 1 by mu minus lambda. If I talk about waiting time in the queue, that is lambda by mu into 1 minus mu minus lambda. Then if I talk about what is the length of the system, so that is nothing but 1 by, so 1 by mu minus lambda into lambda. If I talk about waiting, if I talk about the length of the queue, so that is lambda by mu into lambda by mu minus lambda. So then if I talk about what is non-empty queue length, so if I talk about non-empty, if I talk about non-empty queue length, if I talk about non-empty queue length in system, if I talk about non-empty queue length in the system, that is equal to lambda plus lambda by mu. Similarly, if I talk about non-empty queue length, similarly, if I talk about non-empty queue length, if I talk about non-empty queue length in the queue, that is equal to mu by mu minus lambda. So these things we remember always. So we just, if we remember these things, we can solve the problem very easily. So solving them, the problem will not be big thing for us. The next question is that what is the next question is what is the probability that the customer shall spend more than 10 minutes at the tailor service. So the probability that the customer spend more than 10 minutes at the tailor service. Here what you need to understand here, so here you need to follow the formula. That formula is traffic intensity into e to the power minus t by ws. So this is the formula what you need to follow. So this is the formula what you need to follow. Probability that the customer spent more than 10 minutes at the tailor service. So you went for the service to be done, and then how much time you'll wait, or how much time will you wait there. So for that, this is the formula. So here, what is ws? Waiting time in the system, that is 1 by mu minus lambda. So the mu here, what is your mu? Here you mu is 15, lambda is 12. So 12 and 15. So 1 by 12 by 15, that is 1 by 3. So that is 0.333. So that is a waiting time. So this is 1 by 3 hour, or I can say it is 20 minutes. So that I'll put it here. So what is lambda? This is traffic intensity, that is 12 by 15, that is 0.8, and e to the power minus t. So they are asking you 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes. So the time is in minute. So here also you can take in minute. So this you can take in minute. So this is nothing but 0.8 into e to the power minus 1 by 2. 1 by 2 means 0.5. So we just need to calculate this. So what is the value of this? So see what is the value of this. So you can calculate this. So normally when I talk about E has a value called 2.718228. This is the value of E. Remember, I have taught you all this in Poisson distribution. What is the value of E? 2.71828. So I have discussed this value with you when I was teaching you the Poisson distribution. So So E in Excel we represent with EXP. So 2.71828, 2.71828. So I need e to the power minus e to the power minus zero point 0.5. So e to the power minus zero point 0.5 is nothing but 1 by e to the power zero point 0.5. So 1 by e to the power 0.5. 0.5 means 1 by 2. Means you actually need this 1 by square root of e. You actually need this. So you can do that. So you can do that. So you can either write it like this, e to the power minus zero point 0.5. So this is the value called 0.0606531, or I can write this is 1 divided by square root of this value. So I'll get the same thing. So that is 0.065, 0.6065. So 0.6065. So this is 0.8 into 0.6065. So you solve this, you get the answer. So 8 5s are 40, then 4 carry, 8 6 are 48, 52, 5, then 5 carry, then 8 6 are 48. So how many decimals are there? 5 decimal. So point 4, so your 0 will be there. So 0.4852. This is the answer. Fine. So this is all. This is what we'll do today for the today class. So this calculation you can do very easily. Already in previous class I have discussed this LS, LQ and all, WQ, WS, all that formulas you know already. The length of the Q, the length of the system. Already I have discussed this formula with all of you. So you know this formula. So all these are the formula for single server model. So you just need to by heart these formula. Solving them is not a big thing. You can easily solve them. Solving them is not at all a big thing. You can easily solve them. Then so this is what we plan to do today. So the probability that the customer will spend more than 10 minutes in the system. So the formula for that is traffic intensity, that is called phi into e to the power minus t divided by ws, where ws is the waiting time in the system. And when we talk about the formula for waiting time in the system, that is nothing but 1 by, when I talk about waiting time in the system, that is nothing but 1 by mu minus lambda. So this is the formula for the waiting time in the system. So with this, you get the waiting time in the system, and that is 1 by 3 hours. If you notice here, the time is given in minutes. So this also I can convert into minute, and then I can solve it. And that when I solve it, I'll get the answer. Probability that the customer has to wait more than X minute in the system. So this is the way how I will do. Fine. So anyone want to ask anything before I wind up the class? Anyone, any question? Anyone have any question? Please ask me. Anyone want to ask anything? Okay, fine. So I'm assuming that you have understood what all we have done for the today class. So with that intention, I like to wind up the class. Thank you everyone. See you tomorrow for the class.